Donkey Kong Country. Who doesn't know this game? It's a classic game from the beautiful era of the SNES. These trilogy of games may have defined the system and taken it to its very limits, but when it all comes down to it, the original is where it all started. Now, I won't lie, I didn't play this as a kid. It was only thanks to a friend of mine that I even played this in the past 5 years, but I have learned that I missed something beautiful from a time past. To no surprise, this game was made by my favorite company, Rareware. They are well known for a series of great games that went above and beyond in their own genres, and Donkey Kong Country is no exception. Donkey Kong Country is an excellent game, there's no arguing with this fact. However, in my current skill set, I honestly wouldn't be comfortable making a review for this game. I just don't think I'm actually prepared to do such a thing. However, something I would like to do is my top 10 favorite levels from this game. There's a lot of them and they're really cool. Good enough for me. Now understand that this list is completely subjective, meaning there is no real way to determine one level better than another. But I can enjoy certain levels more than others based on my preferences. So this is going to be a list of my personal favorite levels from this game. Maybe you agree with some of them, maybe you don't. All I can do is create the list and see what you think of it. I do hope you enjoy, and who knows, maybe one of your favorite levels is here as well. Number 10. Barrel Cannon Canyon is a rather difficult devil of a level. The rhyme sounded better in my head. Barrel Cannon Canyon is by far not the most fast-paced of levels. It's got your basic enemies all around the platforms with tons of barrel jumps in between, making for a rather slow and simple level of treacherous jumps. Overall, the level appearance is just a bright sunshiny day in the jungle filled with barrels. The music for this area is the classic jungle music from this game, making it basic but enjoyable. For most people, they would believe this to be a rather dragged out level with all the barrel jumps, and perhaps if you're not that good at them, this can be true. It can take quite some time to get through all of them. This drawn out feeling is exactly the reason why I love this level so much. It's just so much twitch reflex with these barrel jumps, just tons of them. It's almost a test of your ability. Plus the fact that it isn't even forced upon you. If you feel this level is too long or difficult or you just don't feel like doing it at all, then don't sweat it. A feature was tossed in for people just like you. Just jump up here to find a hidden barrel and away we go. Hey, who said these levels had to be hard? Interesting how a little exploration can lead to skipping half a level. It may be difficult at times with the unforgiving barrel puzzles, but for adding this cheeky little secret, I gave it a pat on the back and say it deserves the number 10 spot. Besides, it's a barrel of a time. What more could you ask? Number 9. Forest Frenzy is more close to home for me in a level. I live in the woods. Hint, hint. This area takes place in a dense forest filled with bees, birds, and everything else that wants to kill you. Wow, it really is just like home. Honestly, this level is actually a rather nice change of appearance from the average jungle. It actually feels like a whole new environment in the game. Also, can you hear that music? Oh, that is some well-composed music. Just listen to that and tell me you don't feel you're somewhere in the middle of a dense, lush forest. This level consists of a lot of jumps by moving ropes, but hang on a sec, ropes don't move like that. And you would be correct, sir or madam, they do not. This game decides to literally defy the laws of physics and instead have the rope move side to side, statically. This may seem odd in appearance, and well, that's because it is. Doesn't even make sense, to be honest. But these rope rides are rather an odd use of mechanics that just end up working. Just traveling on a rope as if it's on a monorail. But you have to try it for yourself to see how much fun it really is. The best part of this level, I find, is the moving rope section near the end. It seems easy at first with all the bees, but just as you're feeling confident, the wrench is thrown into the gears with all the birds. You're not left with a whole lot of time to think, you just gotta go with your instincts or you will easily end up defeated in this level. Give it your best, but do not expect to win, because it may be more than you can handle. Number 8. Tanked Up Treble was an odd change of the Donkey Kong mechanics, and by that I mean, look at that gas mileage. Who decided to put a 350 in this thing? The idea in this one is you are traveling along a track and have to fill your vehicle with fuel in order to continue in the level. What made this level so memorable was the fact that, although challenging, pretty straightforward. Like a ride through Disneyland. In fact, almost exactly. You ride on a track, interact with all the animals and stuff, fall to your death and sue for $5 million? Yep, just like Disneyland. This level was a rather scenic route of the game that didn't lead to much exploration, but it didn't need to. It was fun. It's a simple-paced level that was literally an enjoyable ride. It brought in this clever mechanic of fueling the platform before it runs out of fuel and falling to your doom. It was a simple design, but flowed perfectly with the game's mechanics. It was fun. I can't knock it for that, so that's why I got number 8. It was good. Alright, all aboard the... Oh, shit. Number 7. Jungle Hijinks. Alright, we all saw this one coming, let's just get this out of the way. Frickin' people who think they know this game just because they put in the most recognized level ever. Yep, that's me. Jungle Hijinks is probably the most famous of all the levels in Donkey Kong Country, so yeah, it's gonna pop up in the list. Duh. It's just such an iconic level between a great introduction to a game and all of its elements. It is true, this level is not that difficult, like at all. But who cares? For a start of a journey, they knew exactly what they were doing. Between showing the hidden areas, rideable animals, multiple enemy types, and the whole reason you're playing this game in the first place, it's the level that literally started it all. Who doesn't like this level? It's almost impossible not to enjoy. Beautiful in appearance, and just listen to that music. It's the build-up to a great adventure that we were all looking for. Jungle Hijinks, I thank you for introducing me to a game that I will never regret playing. Number 6. Minecart Madness. Are you ready to delve into madness? Sorry, I had to say it. Minecart Madness was one of the best minecart levels in this game. No, I won't try and justify the cart levels in this game. They're interesting, sure, but they're akin to Battletoads because reaction time isn't enough when it comes to these levels. You literally have to memorize the locations of these kremlins or they will kill you. But Minecart Madness was actually the more entertaining of the bunch. But how did they achieve this, you ask? Simple, they made it physically possible to beat. Amazing how much people would like a game if it was possible on the first run. Another thing they changed was the jumping in these levels. Instead of having the whole cart jump like in Minecart Carnage, only you do, which probably makes a lot more sense than picking up a minecart that probably weighed well over a ton. The level feels a little slowed down for most levels, making it slower and an enjoyable pace. Of course, you're still going pretty fast, so keep your wit about. Between hidden barrels, clever jumps, and a fun pace, this level scores to 6th position quite nicely. It's just a nice flow of a level that was fun to ride through. Hey, I liked it. That's why it's here. Warning, warning, the following contains spoilers. If you have not beat this game, then, I don't know, piss off and do something else. Number 5. King K. Rool. Now, when it comes to boss fights, King K. Rool wasn't particularly difficult. It was a unique and interesting fight, sure, but for the most part, he was treated as a normal boss. They take about 2 minutes to beat. Hard to make an argument that that's a great level. Wait for him to throw the crown, then jump on his head. Do it 3 times and yeah, he's done. Well, that was way too easy. Why the hell did I put it this far up in the list? Nah, whatever. Can't believe I beat him already. Gonna text my friend. Wait, hold on, what? How clever, Rare, how clever. As you may have figured out, the reason it is so high on the list is that beautiful moment of the fast one the game throws at you. Putting it simply, screw you game, you're an asshole. But I love you anyhow. I think this summed up King K. Rool's personality in that short moment. Faking his own defeat for a quick sucker punch and even bringing up the credits. In honesty, I really was killed by him when I was texting a friend. It was hilarious. He's a cheeky bastard that is not the most lovable of characters, but definitely has a lot of personality to him. For that I state it may be so high on this list, cause a little personality can go a long way. King K. Rool. I approve. Number 4. Stop and Go Station is one of the more interesting levels that I've had the pleasure of playing. And by pleasure, I mean a living nightmare. But the good kind. The whole idea behind this level is that there's these rock gremlins that you can't do anything about. Can't hurt them, can't touch them, can't even insult them. But if you have the red light, they will stop moving and, well, do nothing. But as soon as that light turns green, all hell breaks loose and nothing can stop them. Honestly, it's a level filled with treacherous jumps surrounded by death. But like before, this one has a little secret in it that is one of the greatest shortcuts I have ever seen. Don't feel like going the long way? Not a problem. Simply turn around and go the other way. Now prep yourself. Hard mode has just been engaged. Run, jump, and don't miss a damn thing and you will save yourself some time. And only at the cost of your sanity and defying death. My friend showed me this originally and I find it how humorous it is to simply say, Nah, this way's too long, I'll take the short route. Should be easy. Oh dear God! See, nothing to it. It's super short, but short and lovable, so it's like a little treat of death. Also, it's like a hardcore version of red light, green light, where instead of losing, you just die. Charming. Number 3. Hey, who likes giant tree forts? Please raise your hands. Really, that's it? Treehouse levels are something of a wonder when it comes to video games. They're not very common, but to the average child, a place of mystery and wonder. I never forgot the first time I saw the one in Banjo-Kazooie. Your mind just thinks of all the adventures one could have in it. So when I saw there was a whole town made of tree forts, I couldn't help but enjoy this level. And much like the real-life equivalent of a tree fort, falling to your death is a really common thing. This level is full of treacherous jumps, barrel canyons, and plenty of suicidal enemies. But it's so cool looking. Like, really, it looks like a tree fort you would dream of. The music in this level is amazing. It's a great level that is difficult and enjoyable at the same time. A difficult balance to manage, might I say. For a level filled with the wonder of tree forts from the woodland realm, it scores the number 3 spot with ease. Number 2. Coral Capers. It's odd to see water levels high on the list, like how about almost never. It seems that as time goes on, water levels are hated more and more, and I won't even go on the subject of water temples. But there was a time when water levels were something beautiful. Speaking specifically, it was from this game. In many games, the reason water levels are so hated is the controls never seem right, or you take too long to swim, or it kills you. Mostly that one. However, in this game, the controls for underwater levels are so fast and crisp, it surprises many. Hell, it surprises me, and I wrote this list. The underwater sections of this game may be some of the most beautiful areas in this game. The coral background, the water warping textures, the blue water. Sharks that are more cute than scary, to be honest. And not to forget this game's beautiful soundtrack, making it sound so mysterious and beautiful. When I started this level, that's what I felt, a feeling that truly envelops you. It not only made it feel like you were in water, you felt as if you were the one swimming through this level. Coral Capers gets this far on the list not just for good controls, but remembering that a feeling of a level can make a whole new world. Also, Ingarde, most badass tuna ever. What do you mean he's a swordfish? Now before we go jumping into number 1, there is something I wanted to give a special mention to for being so awesome. But I thought people wouldn't want to actually see this as one of the levels because it is and it isn't at the same time. Cranky's Cabin. Rare, I'm aware you're a bunch of mad geniuses over there, but this one proves you've always been on the insane side. Cranky Kong is this strange anomaly in this game. All he does is basically reprimand you for being awful and going on and on about how it used to be back in his day. But really? That's what makes him so lovable. It's this grandparent figure that makes you more modest about all your accomplishments. Atop with all the references to hidden secret areas in the game, I say, good job, Rare. You continue to show that sometimes a breaking of the fourth wall is what is needed to connect to your players. Also, he gives reason to watch the credits in the game. Seriously, the credits are the best part. And number 1. I really tried to challenge this as my favorite level. Surely there was a level I enjoyed more, but at the end of the day, this was clearly my favorite. For starters, Slip and Slide Ride, in my opinion, is the most beautiful with all the crystals in the cave's background. It's my favorite scenery from this game. It's so alien, and yet so close to home for me. It truly envelops you with these beautiful frosty crystal-like textures, making it very pleasing to the eye. The music perfectly encompasses the feeling and sells the level. The mechanics for this level were unique and interesting change that were new, but not too hard to grasp. In this level, the ropes are frozen over and move according to color. Blue ropes for up, purple for down. The jumps in this level were very challenging, but were always fair. This level had it all, multiple secrets, lots of bananas, and charming music to back it all up. And that's why this level will always remain in my heart. Just, I don't know, it's beyond words. It's just the level. I never forgot it and always have fond memories of it. It's like living in a cave of ice crystals and everything is frozen. Just tell me that doesn't sound awesome. It felt the most clean to run through, and it honestly made me sad when the level was over. If that's not love, then I don't know what is. Slip and Slide Ride is my favorite level in Donkey Kong Country. Well, there we have it. I do hope you enjoyed this list. Now, I understand that I didn't get everyone's favorite levels into this list, and maybe you didn't even agree with the order, and That's understandable because we all view it differently, but actually I would like to know what you guys would view these levels as. Not just like the ones I picked, like your own levels. How would you order the games? What's your favorite? Things like that. And if you want to stay up to date with my things, you can follow me on
social media. Do you think that's what actually gets you the views? Nah. Back when I was a boy, we made a video. It was simple. We made a good video. You could learn something from that. And you know what? We didn't have none of this top 10 thing either. No, back then it was a much different story. We would just do a top 1. And you know what? They would love it. You get 1 million views in the first day.
But it shows diversity and it interacts with the audience.
And another thing, what's with the time in between episodes? It seems like it takes longer and longer with you. Now, I'm not saying that your episodes are getting worse, but at the same time...
Okay, he's not stopping. Well, I'm going to take care of him. You guys go on to the credits because he's going to be here a while, and strangely, I don't think he's going to shut up. Well, until next time, I'll see you later.
What about Donkey Kong Country 2 or 3 or the new ones or Tropical Freeze or whatever the hell that one is? I remember back when I first played the game, man, we used to beat that game like it was nothing. It took me 1 life in under an hour, and that's how we beat it. You know what? We did, man.